methods or modes used for money laundering or terrorism financing. The Joint Money Laundering Steering Group London has listed a few techniques commonly used by money launderers all over the world. So this group has given a list of techniques used by money launderers. This picture shows various techniques or modes or models or methods used for money laundering or terrorism financing. So these all are the methods or models or techniques used for money laundering or terrorism financing. These 8 are the services, various services. So all these methods are classified under these 8 services. Why money launderers or terrorists use these various techniques or methods for their activities? Because money launderers and terrorists want to hide out their illegal activity. They want to hide out their illegal source of funds. They want to hide out their initial source point. They want to hide out their origin of funds. And also they want to avoid being caught. They want to avoid legal or law punishments. So for these purposes, they use various or different methods for their illegal activities. So let us see each of these methods. First method using normal banking services is deposit structuring or smurfing. Smurfing is the structuring of large amounts of cash into multiple small transactions by a number of accounts of a large number of unconnected depositors, generally below the reporting threshold, that is 10 lakhs in India. So here I will explain this with an example. So here 1 crore terrorists or money launderers want to deposit 1 crore rupees. So this amount is deposited into 20 unconnected people. So each person deposits 5 lakhs into his account. So here 5 lakhs amount is deposited into 20 persons, unconnected persons accounts. So that is a structure. 5 lakh into 20 persons. This is a structure. So here 5 lakhs is deposited, or total 1 crore deposited into 20 persons. So each person deposits 5 lakh into their accounts. So here deposits are structured. Cash, illegal funds are deposited into accounts in a structured manner. That is called smurfing. Here large amounts of illegal funds are deposited into small transactions by a number of accounts of a large number of unconnected people, and these amounts are deposited below the reporting threshold, that is 10 lakhs in India. So this is about deposit structuring or smurfing method. Next method is multiple tier of accounts. In this technique, funds are passed through multiple accounts by splitting them into 2 or more portions at each stage. So we know that trains have different types of coaches. So passengers are traveled by train through these types of coaches. In the same manner, here illegal funds are passed through multiple accounts by splitting them to two or more portions. So I will explain with an example. So criminals want to transfer or pass the funds through farmers accounts, 100 farmers accounts and 50 salaried persons accounts and 10 business persons accounts. So like train coaches, 3-tier AC coach, 2-tier AC coach, 1-tier AC coach. Here 3 tiers of accounts are there. This tier belongs to farmers accounts and this tier belongs to salaried persons accounts and this tier belongs to business persons account. Here funds are passed through these 160 accounts. Funds are passed through these 160 accounts and these 160 accounts are splitting into 2 or 3 portions. Here 3 portions are made. Likewise, funds are passed through multi-tiers. That's why this method is called multiple tier of accounts. Here criminals pass their funds through multiple accounts, multiple tier of accounts, because if they pass all the funds through farmers accounts, at any time they can be caught. At any time their funds can be caught. So to avoid being caught and to make the structure very difficult to trace the origin of funds, they use this multi-tier of accounts method. Criminals use this multiple tier of accounts method. Depending on the number of splits and the number of tiers, the accounts at the base of the triangle. If you construct a triangle here, at the base of the triangle structure could be large. So always base of the triangle here in these 3 portions, base of the triangle always be large, because in this portion more accounts will be placed. So that is about multiple tier of accounts. Next method is funnel accounts. So what is the funnel? We know that funnel generally used to pour the liquid into the bottle or any vessel. So this is the funnel. If you pour the liquid into the funnel, so that liquid is directed by funnel into the vessel or bottle. So this is the bottle. So if you pour the liquid into this funnel, so that funnel directs that water or liquid into this vessel or bottle. So here a bank account is opened for the purpose of deposits of dirty money. So here one bank account is opened as a funnel. The purpose of that bank account is the purpose of that funnel account is to collect the dirty money and direct that dirty money into wherever they want. So here several persons made deposits into these account, this account below the reporting threshold, that is 10 lakhs rupees. So if you pour water here, if you pour water here, if you pour water here, so all the water is directed by the funnel into the vessel or bottle. In the same manner, if several persons, so one person can deposit from in Hyderabad, one person can deposit in Tirupati, one person can deposit in Bangalore. So several person deposits at several places into this funnel account. So once the amount is deposited into this funnel account, that amount is directed to another place, or that amount is immediately withdrawn from the account at the distance places. So that amount is directed to distance places, there that amount is withdrawn immediately. So here funnel type account is opened. In this funnel account, dirty money is deposited by several persons at several places. That is also deposited below the reporting threshold value, that is 10 lakh rupees in India. So money launderers use this type of funnel accounts for their illegal activities, for their transfer of illegal funds. Next method is contra transactions. Criminals or terrorists, they show heavy turnover in accounts. In those accounts, some amount is transferred from one account to another account, followed by an equal amount transferred from the recipient account to the originating account. For example, 5 lakhs is transferred from X account to Y account. Immediately, same 5 lakhs is transferred from Y account to Excel. So here debit, here credit, again here debit, and again here credit. So like these transactions are repeated several times during a day, over several days, or even few months. So these same amount debit credit transactions are repeated several times during a day, or over several days, or even few months, because they want to show heavy turnover in the accounts. Due to these heavy turnover, they want to make the transactions is difficult to understand. These accounts generally do not have any commercial or economic activity. So they open simply for doing turnover. They want to just show high turnover in those accounts. And also they want to make or avoid the investigator eyes from to investigation. They want to deviate the investigators' eyes on these accounts, because so many transactions, same amount debits, credits are happened in those accounts. Due to these so many transactions, repeated transactions, even investigator gets frustrated. Even investigators get frustrated. So they want to hide out their illegal activity. They want to hide out their source of illegal funds. So for that purpose, for make confusion in the investigators view perspective, they do heavy turnover in those accounts. Next method is bank drafts and similar instruments. Money launderers or terrorists purchase bank drafts, money orders, cashier checks through their illegal funds or through cash. These legal instruments are used for laundering purposes or terrorism activities or criminal activities, because they provide instrument drawn on a respectable bank or other credit institutions, so thus break the money trail. So they want to convert their illegal funds to legal instruments. So once the amount is cash or illegal funds are converted into legal instruments, that will be shown as legal income. And these legal instruments are not getting uh, doubt. These instrument cannot create doubt in terms of law enforcement authorities. So no law enforcement authority can express doubt on these instruments. So they want to create that impression. So they want to reduce the ability of the law enforcement authorities to seek a judicial order to appropriate such funds. So they want to reduce the impression of law enforcement authorities. For that, they purchase legal instruments like bank drafts, money orders, and cashiers from the illegal funds. They purchase these instruments from their illegal funds through cash. Next method is cash deposits followed by transfers. In this method, cash deposits are usually quickly followed by a transfer to another jurisdiction. So generally, from the criminal activities, they receive cash, bulk cash. They receive bulk cash. So those bulk cash immediately deposited into the account, and immediately that amount is transferred to the another jurisdiction where they can keep those deposits safely. Why they do this? Because they earned this bulk cash from criminal activity. At any point, at any time, they can be caught. So once they they are caught, their funds will also be caught, their cash will also be caught. So to avoid risk of seizure, so once the amount is caught, that amount will be seized. So to avoid the risk of seizure, this cash is deposited into accounts. Immediately that amount is transferred to safer places. And also they make these transactions in the form of some genuine business transactions. They show these transactions as a genuine business transaction. So why they transfer immediately? Because they want to lowering the risk of seizure. For this purpose, they transfer the funds immediately to another jurisdiction or safer places. Next method is connected accounts. Criminals use binary accounts. Generally, binary accounts are opened in the names of relatives or associates or other persons. Binaries just give their name and identity to the criminals. Criminals only operate or use binary accounts. Criminal only do transactions in binary accounts. In the same manner, services of professionals such as lawyers are used for the purpose of opening and operating accounts, keeping the identity of the real owner of funds hidden. So we know that all firms require the services of lawyers and auditors. We know that Firms require lawyers and auditor services. But these money launderers and terrorists, what they do, they create cell companies. So what are the cell companies? Cell companies do not have physical existence. They are only on the papers. They are companies on the papers. For those companies, they open professionals, lawyers accounts, auditors accounts, and they use their accounts like Binami accounts. Here, generally lawyers and auditors are connected to the firms because they these professionals are connected to the firms because firms require the services of lawyers and auditors. So these professionals are connected to the firms. Nobody gets doubt on these persons, on these professionals, because lawyers and auditors are connected to the firms. They are the authorities for the genuineness of that company. So nobody gets doubt on these professionals. That's why money launderers and terrorists use these connected people's accounts, and they convert their illegal funds to legal funds. Next method is front companies. Money launderers and terrorists use of companies engaged in selling goods and providing services. Having large volume of business, often cash dealings, are used for mingling of dirty money along with their legitimate business dealings. Similarly, entities like banks or casinos, brokerage firms may be used for conversion of illegal funds to legal funds. So how the banks are used here? Generally, banks sell third party products like insurance products and mutual funds products. These money launderers and terrorists, they deposit money into the bank and immediately they purchase insurance products or mutual funds products. So immediately that illegal funds are converted to the legal funds. They show that they they got money from the legal activities, and that money is deposited into the bank accounts. That amount is converted into the insurance products or mutual funds. So nobody gets doubt on these transactions. So for that purpose only, they use these front companies for conversion of their illegal funds to legal funds. So in these companies, banks, even banks can also be used. Casinos, brokerage, okay, even banks can also be used because banks sell goods and provide services. These goods and services can be bought through cash dealings. So they use cash, they deposit that cash into the bank accounts and they buy goods and services from these entities. Next method is legitimate accounts. Individuals may run a number of accounts with several banks. So we know that so many people have 2 or 3 accounts in different banks. So it is usual for accounts with one bank to be used for domestic purposes, and while accounts with another are used for business purposes. So these are legitimate accounts. So nobody can doubt on these transactions. So I will explain this with one example. So here X, he worked in TCS. There he opened in account in ICICI Bank. So while working in TCS company, he used to get salary in ICICI Bank and he used to do transaction in ICICI Bank. So after that, he changed the company and he shifted to Infosys. So while working in Infosys, he opened account in HDFC. So during that period, he used to get salary in HDFC and he used to do transactions in HDFC. So after that, now again he changed the company and now he is working in Wipro. So and here he opened account in SBI. So now he used to get salary in SBI and he is doing transactions in SBI. So here these three accounts are legitimate accounts because earlier he worked in TCS, that is genuine, and also he used to get salary. So those transactions are genuine and legitimate. After that he changed company, he used to work in Infosys. There he used to get salary in HDFC and he used to do transactions in HDFC Bank. So all these activities are legal and all these transactions are legitimate and all these accounts are legitimate account. But now this X is using only this account. So almost more transactions he is doing in SBI account only. He is not doing transactions, or he is doing very less transactions, minimal transactions in these two accounts. So this is the advantage to the terrorists and money launderers. So money launderers keep eye on these accounts and they give commission to X and they use these two accounts for the conversion of their illegal funds. Because these two are legitimate accounts, because nobody gets doubt on the transactions of these two accounts, because these are legitimated accounts, and earlier in these accounts salaries are credited and amounts are debited for his domestic purposes. Nobody gets doubt on the transactions of these accounts. So criminals and terrorists or money launderers use these legitimated accounts. They give commission to this person and they use his accounts for conversion of their illegal funds. So this person can be called as money mule. Here X is called as money mule. They use money mules for their conversion of illegal funds. For the conversion of illegal funds. Next method is dormant account. So dormant accounts provide so many advantages to money launderers and terrorists, because these accounts seem customer relationship with the bank, and these accounts are always keep open, and these accounts do not draw anybody's attention, and these accounts are provided with the facilities of internet banking, mobile banking, ATM and etc. So digital channels will also be, digital facilities will also be provided to these accounts. And also these accounts receive monies from support members or from anybody's. So these all are the advantages given by dormant accounts to money launderers and terrorists, because nobody draw attention on these accounts. Generally what happens, account is opened in the bank After that, they do transactions for 1 or 2 months. After that, they keep that account open. So no transactions will be done in that account. So nobody, it does not draw nobody's attention. So nobody put attention on that account, because that account is not used regularly. So that is the advantage given by this account to the money launderers and terrorists. So what they do, they simply deposit amounts into these account for long time. So after that, they remove maximum. So they remove amount from that account maximum in the form of cash, maximum from ATM, maximum from debit cards. They use debit cards and they withdraw money in the form of cash. Next method, crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is form of soliciting or begging contributions from a large number of people, especially from the online community, usually in smaller amounts, support in idea, project or business venture. So I will explain this with an example. So we uh, so many people nowadays, we are watching in YouTube's or Instagram or in Facebook. Some people, they tell that they are from NGOs. They are from NGOs, and they say that in their NGO, orphanages are there. So they are providing facility or providing shelter to the orphanages. They say that they are giving shelter to the orphanages, child. So for that, they ask contributions from the common people. They ask through online only, because they give advertisement in social media platforms and messaging apps. So through online only, they advertise about their NGOs. Generally, common people contribute in small amounts. Common people contribute small amounts. So in that advertisement, they say that if you provide or if you contribute 100 rupees, that will be used for lunch to a child. If you give or contribute 500 rupees, that will give food for a day to a child. Like that, they give advertisement. Generally, common people on humanitarian grounds, they feel that humanity, they feel the orphanage, humanity, orphanages, and they contribute money to those NGOs. So this is the advantage to the money launderers and terrorists. So they create NGOs and they abuse of humanitarian and they abuse of non-profit organizations and they abuse of charities. In social media platforms and messaging apps, they ask they soliciting or begging contributions from the large number of people from the online community. So by watching ads, common people contribute their money to those NGOs. In the backside, terrorists or money launderers use the facilities of these NGOs is the advantage, taking advantage of these NGOs, and they request or they raise funds from crowdfunding, common people, large number of people, and they raise small amounts of funds, small amounts of contributions. So nobody gets doubt on these contributions. No investigator gets doubt on these contributions, because they think that these contributions are utilized for the well wishing for of orphanages. These contributions are utilized for the providing food to the child or orphanages. But in background, in backside of this activity, they use funds for criminal activities or terrorist activities, and also they push their illegal funds through these NGOs and convert their illegal funds into legal funds. So for conversion of illegal funds and for hiding out their illegal activities, they use these type of NGOs and they raise contributions for their illegal activities and for their conversion of illegal funds. So terrorists and money launderers also use this crowdfunding for their illegal activities.